Welcome to my 2012 Preakness Stakes recap. As you can see here, I am just going to look at the Equibase chart from the race today at Pimlico. I will add a link to the chart. I was hoping to do a little play-by-play, like a little analysis from the race itself, video-wise, but unfortunately, don't want to be taken down for copyrights and whatnot. So I thought the next best idea was to look at the chart and see what I think. This is the first time I'm looking at this chart, and first of all, this race was so obvious to me. It was obvious that I'll Have Another and Bodemeister were the two best horses going in this race, and it proved that I just must say off the bat that this Preakness was definitely one of the best Preaknesses I've seen in a while. It is great to finally have a horse win the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness the first time since Big Brown did in 2008. He was the only horse in the past 7 years that has been able to do so. So only one horse in the past 7 years has been able to win the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness, and this is the second horse to do so, and I'll Have Another. And my goodness, this horse is just outshining them all just with his running style. He is just proving everybody wrong. He did not prove me wrong. 3-1 was a great price on I'll Have Another. Bodemeister was he was less than 2-1. Let me jump right into this. I'll Have Another. He had a perfect trip. He sat off Bodemeister, and he did exactly what he had to do. Mario Gutierrez rode a picture perfect ride. If he could dream in any way possible, I'm sure dreams did come true for Mario Gutierrez. He just had a superb ride. He did it everything accordingly. Big props to Gutierrez. He is definitely proven to be a great rider, and these two, I'll Have Another, Mario Gutierrez, they're just clicking. Moving on to Bodemeister. Bodemeister, he had the perfect trip. If you told me that Bodemeister was going to run 23.79, 47, 111, and he would have a clear lead and he would not win the Preakness, I would call you crazy. But, Bodemeister, he just can't get the distance. He cannot get to the distance. I think it's a mix of the distance and I'll Have Another just feeling the determination. Because when I'll Have Another's coming down the stretch, he sees Bodemeister on the left. He kicks it into gear and he's working to catch Bodemeister. It's like I'll Have Another knows where the wire is. He knows where it is. And he always gets there. He always gets there in the final strides. And that's why I love I'll Have Another. I'm expecting I'll Have Another will be able to easily handle the 1.5-mile distance. He'll be in the Belmont. Bodemeister, there's just no excuses. He easily could have won this race. It was a 16th shorter. He seemed like he was gone. I just don't know what happened to Bodemeister. I would imagine he will definitely stick to the mile and eighth distances. 1.25 miles, I think he can handle, but I'll Have Another just has Bodemeister's number. If there is no I'll Have Another, Bodemeister just dominates the Derby, and he also dominates the Preakness. But guess what? There's a horse named I'll Have Another who's looking to sweep the Triple Crown the first time since 1978 with Affirmed. Now, we can't look, even though these two dominated, we can't forget the rest of the field. Creative Cause, I wasn't even paying attention to who finished third. I was looking at these two. This was a race to remember. I'll never forget this race. Creative Cause finished a respectful third, but look at that, way back, about 9 lengths back of these two. There was just no competition. These two, it was clear to me that if you didn't hit the exacta in this race, you were simply just trying to win big money, and you just weren't smart. You just had these two, 7-9. Bodemeister and I'll Have Another, clearly the best horses in this field. The easiest exacta you could possibly hit in horse racing this year. That's right, I'm saying it this year. The easiest exacta you'll ever hit was today. I'll Have Another with Bodemeister. Do a $1 exacta box. Hit it 50, 100 times. You're quadrupling your money, essentially, depending on how much you put. Looking at Creative Cause, Joel Rosario, sorry for him. His brother died in a car accident earlier today, so I hope he will recover from that. It was, you can't help but feel for him, but, a third place finish, $110,000 to the connections for Creative Cause. It's not a bad payday when he gets about 10% of it. So not bad. Very good job. Joe Rosario to at least get third. Zetterholm, the Rick Dutrow horse, finished fourth. Then got Teeth of the Dog, Optimizer, Cosetti, Tiger Walk, Daddy Knows Best with Julian LePeroux. They had a bad start. If you look at that video at the start, he lost at least a good length or two, and he was dead last throughout. I knew he was done right off the bat. I knew he would never be involved. Looking at Winter Daywell, not sure what happened to him. I was looking for him throughout the race. I didn't see him do nothing. So went the day well. That was a disappointing performance, but it just goes to prove that these top two horses were just the clear-cut best horses. Easy exacta to hit. Let's roll down to the results here. We'll get the owners in there. We'll not look at the footnotes. We'll look at the payouts. Total win place pool. Show pool was at $20 million. I'll have another paid $840, $380, $280. Those are good prices. $280 for two favorites. That's pretty considerably nice. When you usually get favorites, and it's usually $210. But once again, this is big money on the line. People, $20 million in a pool, you're better getting at least $280. Creative cost $360 to show. That is a good price. I would have put a show on him. And let's look at this exacta. $2 exacta, 9.7, 18.60. You hit $1. All you gotta do is put a $1 exacta box, 9.7, 7.9, whatever you want to say it as. You get $18.16 back from that $2 you wagered. You're I can't even think of the. It's not whatever it is. I can't even think of the word. You're just winning. You won $16. And that's the easiest $16 you could ever win, with the pool being at $10 million. People are like, look, if I do an exacta Bodemeister and I'll have another, it's going to pay nothing. I ain't going to bet that, so I'm going to bet Creative Cause and Bodemeister, or Creative Cause, I'll have another. Just bet the horses that are going to win. Now I'm going on a rant here, which was totally not what I was trying to do. But once again, I am so proud to say the top three finishers in the Preakness. Once again, we see the West Coast outshining the East. I am so proud to say it. I am so happy to see these West Coast horses dominating the 3-year-olds. And I must say, I am so much looking forward to the Breeders' Cup. Seeing, hopefully we'll see Bodemeister and I'll have another go at it at some point in time. I do not see him going at it in the Belmont. The question is, when? When will we see I'll have another and Bodemeister? I kind of sense a little bit of a rivalry somewhat building up here. But, just Doug O'Neill, Bob Baffert rivalry, it just never occurs to anybody that would be any sort of rivalry. Because Bob Baffert, he's the veteran. He's the high-class guy. And then you got Doug O'Neill, this typical guy. They're not the same person. There's two great trainers, but you just never got the sense of a rivalry between those two. But this could be a good rivalry for the future. Who knows? Maybe if these horses go into a 4-year-old career, maybe even 5-year-old career, these two could still be going at it. Gosh, these two horses just absolutely put a great show on today, and big props to Doug O'Neill, Mario Gutierrez, and the Redham Racing, as you can see right here. But it's Paul Redham. The great connections. They definitely deserve it. They've definitely representing the Southern California circuit in horse racing well. Bodemeister doing the same with Bob Baffert, and then the Zayat Stables. Creative Cause, he's always in there. He's a fighter. He's a fighter, finishing third. I don't care if he lost by 9 lengths. He beat the rest of the field. You got to give him that. So that is my review. My predictions for the future. Union Rags, Dullahan, they skipping the Preakness. They were looking forward to the 1.5 mile Belmont, which is in 3 weeks, which will be the first Saturday of June, I believe. If not, I believe it's the first Saturday of June, maybe the second, but it's 3 weeks away. I'll have another. Gonna look to get the Triple Crown sweep. You never know. I really hope he can do it. It would be so awesome to see this horse do it. Say, hey, we got a horse that won the Santa Anita Derby, win the Triple Crown. That would be awesome. Definitely representing Southern California well. Ever since this horse got Mario Gutierrez as rider, Mario just has known what to do with the horse. Belmont, he's gonna handle the distance. He can sit way off the front. He could sit up close. His running style is just, it's gonna be hard to see. It's gonna be so hard to see this horse not win the Belmont. But you know, we have to see the field. I'm not expecting Bodemeister. Creative Cause. I think they'll give him a break here. I really don't see. I'd probably only see a few other horses from the Preakness going to the Belmont. So I think the Belmont will be not a field of 11 like this race. I'm kind of expecting maybe a field of 10, maybe 9 at the most. At the least, I should say. 9 at the least. 10 at the most. 9 or 10, I think, is going to be a considerable field for the Belmont. Mile-and-a-half course up in New York. I'll have another. I think people are going to still kind of question him, but after this performance, I think he will be a favorite in the Belmont. He deserves it. He has just proven everybody wrong. He proved me wrong winning the Kentucky Derby, but I loved him in this race, and once again, he puts on a show for the folks on national TV and those at Pimlico. So that is my post review for the Preakness. Definitely a horse race I will definitely watch a few more times. It was such a great race, I must say. Those of you who may have not liked I'll Have Another, or maybe you were Bodemeister and whatnot, just root for I'll Have Another. Definitely, like I said, Connections greatly deserve to win the Triple Crown. It'd be awesome to see Doug O'Neill. Good luck to I'll Have Another and the Connections. 3 weeks. Hopefully they can get it done. The curse, 34 years since a Triple Crown winner. Hopefully the curse will die. I'm calling it a curse because 34 years, it's the longest drought since somebody's never won a Triple Crown. But hopefully I'll Have Another as that horse.